Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. Tonight, we're going to talk about winning. If you're not winning, nobody is checking for you. And this is going to be a really important talk. So make sure that you tap in, make sure you smash that like button. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think about this subject? Unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. See, I got a lot to say on this topic, but I want to hear y'all's comments. So please make sure that you leave me a comment below because let's talk about this. Now, if this is your very first time watching this show, my name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt so you can get to the next level. And as we talk through tonight's broadcast, I want to show you how to win. As you know, this channel is all about helping you become the best version of yourself so that you can reach your goals and get to the next level. All I ask is in return, y'all leave me a comment, y'all smash the like button, y'all subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And if you really love what this channel is about, then please donate. Donate by giving a super chat. So let's start this thing off. Unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. Now, I feel like we already got the game on this subject a long time ago, back when Mike Jones was saying this. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. When you're not at the top of your game, nobody is checking for you. But then once you level up, Then that's when you start to get the fake love. There was a lot of girls that I was interested in high school who were not looking my way. And it wasn't until your boy started to level up that I started to become more appealing. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Is that going to be your story? Unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. Nobody was checking for me when I was 150 pounds in high school. But guess what? I started to go to college. I ended up being a president of a group on campus. I ended up doing all these different things and having a job lined up. And somehow that changed everything. Once I started paying off debt, let's not even talk about that. Once people found out that I paid off that $95,000 in student loans, that's when I started getting a lot more attention. And for me, that was crazy because I'm like, yo, I'm the exact same guy. I'm the same dude that I was 2 years ago. What's changed? But unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. So I want us to talk about some examples of times where we've seen this in sports. I want to talk about times where there's these key athletes, right? Like when you think about guys like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to go through a process where nobody was checking for him. Wasn't nobody checking for Michael Jordan in high school? Michael Jordan got rejected off of the varsity basketball team, but he had to work hard and get himself to the next level and went on to become my pick of the greatest basketball player of all time. But unless you're winning and unless you're on top, nobody cares. Nobody cared about all those years that Jordan was trying to level up. They only started caring when he was a winner. And even when we talk about, most of the world outside of sports, people weren't caring about Jordan like that until he started making a lot of business moves. This is the reason why The Last Dance was such a heavy documentary. See, people, when they see winners, they think they've always been on that level. But you never realize that the majority of the people that win spent a lot of time losing. Y'all saw in the Last Dance documentary how Jordan, when he entered the league, was playing for the Bulls, and the soccer team was more popular in Chicago than the basketball team was. They said that the Bulls was a team full of rejects, and it wasn't until so many years of getting dogged out by the Detroit Pistons that the Bulls ever won a championship. You will not become a well-known figure until years down the line. Because unless you're winning right now, nobody cares. The same way Jordan had to get out the mud, you're going to have to get it out the mud. And regardless of wherever you think you are now, there's always room to grow. If you want to get to the top, you got to stay focused. So tonight we're going to talk about how nobody is checking for you unless you're winning. Make sure that y'all smash this like button, okay? I want to make sure that y'all understand what it is that I'm trying to say. Let's even think about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, he's getting a lot of media attention right now. Everybody loves Dave, man. Dave used to be hiding for years. We thought that we would never see Dave Chappelle again. But nobody was checking for Dave Chappelle in the early years of comedy. It really wasn't until he's got going on that Rick James segment that everybody started talking about Dave Chappelle. He became that much more popular after that show was over with. Now that he's back, everybody's calling him the GOAT. I mean, Dave Chappelle, he's on such a level of comedy now that even when people are trying to cancel him, You got companies like Netflix that's willing to fire their employees just to keep his content on air. Unless you're winning, nobody cares. Y'all know y'all wasn't checking like that for Dave back during Half Baked. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all know y'all wasn't calling Dave Chappelle the GOAT before the Chappelle show cut on. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes money. It takes everything that you got. Unless you're winning, nobody is going to consider you. And the question that I have for you on tonight's broadcast is, do you have what it takes to win? Are you a winner? And do you have what it takes to be successful? I want y'all to leave me a comment. I want y'all to let me know your thoughts. Tonight, we're going to talk about this subject because this is tied to our personal success. Okay, if you're just now joining, make sure that you smash this like button. I'm going to show y'all why this plays such an important part in your success. The reason why winning matters is because society only checks for the winners. So if you're watching this channel and you want to be a business owner, I need you to know that in every industry, the majority of people only knows the top 1 to 2 businesses in that arena. Prime example, iPhone, Android, Windows, Mac. You think about all of these industries, Pepsi, Coke. Nobody knows who's at the bottom of the barrel. If you are just starting off and you are struggling, nobody cares. Everybody knows who's out front. And the reason is because people are selfish and they want to surround themselves in people and places that bring them massive value. I really want y'all to consider this. See, a lot of y'all might be thinking, okay, we just talking that talk, but everything ties back to you and your personal success. I'm doing tonight's broadcast to show you that unless you are at the top of your game, no one is going to support you enough in order for your business to take off. When is the last time you was drinking Royal Crown soda? When is the last time that you started thinking about any other cola companies outside of Coca-Cola? Nobody is checking for the person that's in 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place, 6th place. You have to be on top. Nobody knows who finished second in a race except the dude that finished in 2nd place. And I know that that's something that a lot of people don't want to agree with, but the proof is in the pudding. Society only celebrates the winners. So instead of complaining about that, the best thing that you should do is keep your head down and work. See, okay, if you're going to be successful, you got to stop wishing that the rules were different just for you. You got to stop wishing that life was different just so that things could work in your favor. If you want to succeed in life, you have to accept the game for what it is. You can't be out here pouting like everybody else talking about, that's not fair. I want a shot too. I want somebody to be checking for me. Nobody's checking for you. And the thing about it is, there's so many people that will never reach their full potential because they haven't come to grips with the fact that until you've gotten to the top of the game, nobody cares what you're doing. So in all of those years that you're working behind the scenes, trying to get things off the ground, you have to already be comfortable with the fact that nobody is going to find you out. Think about how many years Bill Gates was working before Microsoft took off. He said from age 20 to age 30, I didn't take a day off, not one. How many people knew who Bill Gates was at 20 years old? How many people knew who these different guys were before they had made it? Like a lot of people, you never know a lot of people that make it until they're already multimillionaires. But what will stop you from getting to the next level is going through your life with the expectation that if nobody is checking for you right now, then that must mean that you're not going to be successful. You got to accept the game for what it is. It may take you a good 5 to 10 years before anybody notices. And that's the reason why they're so quick to call celebrities an overnight success. Every overnight success was 15 years in the making before they blew up. It's just that you started checking for them right now because society only celebrates the winners. They only acknowledge the people that are on top. They never show you guys all of the biographies of people and the things that they had to go through before they became a success. They'll show you all the documentaries after folks then retired and after you've already seen the highlight reel of them winning championships. But the only reason why their biography matters then is because you've already acknowledged them as a winner. You've already seen them winning their championships. You've already seen them take off financially. Nobody cares about the biography of somebody that's still on struggle mode. That's why you got to embrace life head on. You got to stop trying to change the rules. Accept life for what it is and keep your head down and work. All right, let me start checking some of these comments. Shout out to my brother Yasha Allah for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for the support, my brother. Happy to see that you are checking on me, checking for me on my rise to the top. Lord willing, thank you so much. Blessings to my sister, LA for life. I want y'all to leave me a comment. Do you have what it takes to win? The answer is yes or no. I also wonder, do you agree that society only checks for the winners? In my mind, it's an obvious yes. But to some of y'all, you might think not so much. Okay. I want y'all to focus on this. I'm still talking business. The top 1 or 2 businesses in any industry control the majority of the market share. When you think about the companies that are out here doing it, let's say fast food restaurants, the top 1 to 2 fast food restaurants are making more money combined than a large portion of other businesses. Everybody is in the same industry, but to the victor belongs the spoils. When you're setting up a business and you're trying to get people to your social media pages, if there's only but a few people on the page, nobody wants to come. But guess what? Once you start getting thousands upon thousands of people coming to the page, that's when everybody wants to come, because everybody wants to be a part of something that's already on top. It's just like a party. Nobody wants to come to a party that ain't popping. Everybody wants to go to the party that's already hidden. This is why people don't show up at parties as soon as the party starts. People come fashionably late, 2-3 hours into the party, because they want to make sure that by the time that they get there, it's already jumping. Nobody wants to be the first one to show up to the event. And that's why y'all got to understand that as y'all are on the road to greatness, you cannot be discouraged when you start anything and you're still trying to build from square one. When you're at ground zero trying to make it, all you need to do is focus on one thing. winning. And in order to win, you need to focus on the process. Don't focus on how many people are checking for you. Don't focus on how much money you have in the bank. Focus on the process and the winning will follow. The reason why I'm sharing this with y'all is because I'm a firm believer in life that winners win and losers lose. But it's far too often you only hear about people's success story after they make it, and you never hear about where their mindset was on the road to the top. Winners win. That means when you look at winners like Michael Jordan, long before he won an NBA championship, he was focusing on the grind, focusing on the process, outworking everybody. Even though the championship might not have always come, he knew that if he just stayed focused on his craft, eventually the success would follow. Winners win and losers lose. Why do y'all think that Tom Brady can go on a brand new team that hasn't won nothing in years and in year one win a championship? Is because winners understand how to win. If you are a true winner in life, regardless of who's checking for you or who's not, you understand the grind to this. You understand how the game is played, what it means to be a winner, and what sacrifices you need to make to stay on top. So, my message for y'all on tonight's broadcast is if you want to be successful, if you want to level up, if you want to create generational wealth, you have to position yourself in an industry where you can be in the top 1%. Listen, y'all, we got a standard of excellence here. This ain't for people that want to be average. This ain't for people that just, don't care about life, just taking life as it comes. I'm talking to those of y'all that want to build a legacy. If you want to build a legacy and reach your full potential, you need to position yourself to be the best of the best. You need to be the Coca-Cola of an industry. You need to be the iPhone of your arena. And the reason why you got to have this mindset is because so many other people want to be the iPhone of their arena. And even still, when they focus on it, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But if you don't have the mindset of wanting to be the best, it definitely is not going to happen. Let me check these comments to see where y'all are at. Are y'all really hearing what I'm saying tonight, y'all? Does the message resonate with you? Is there an arena that you've chosen that you're willing to dedicate yourself to being the best? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'm trying to show y'all that unless you are at the top of your industry, it's going to be very hard to build a consistent following. If you're trying to make money through passive income, you've got to have momentum. If you're trying to build a website, if you're trying to build a social media presence, you have to build momentum. Otherwise, you're going to take the top people on YouTube, top people on Facebook, top people on social media, Instagram. They're going to get all of the traffic. And nobody's going to think to look on your platforms because it takes momentum to get you going. Okay. I want to see if y'all want to cam up. I want to see if y'all want to cam up and if you have any thoughts on this subject. Do you feel like unless you are the best of the best, nobody cares what you have going? Okay. LA for Life said that she's listening and shopping for some grub. All right, sister, make sure you do your thing, Yeah, shout out to those of y'all that tune into the broadcast. Even if you have different things going on, you still have the audio in the background. Make sure that you check out your boy. All right. Tonight we're talking about unless you're winning, Nobody is checking for you. And I bring this out to show y'all that in every industry, there are only a few people that dominate. The reason why this matters is because if you want to get financial independence, you have to position yourself to be in the top 5% of everybody in the world. There's only 5% of all Americans who have financial independence. But the reason why they have it is because they have placed themselves in an arena where they're the number one, the number two in that industry. And if you don't think that you can get that high up, you really need to brainstorm and soul search to find out where you can be competitive. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about what it takes to get to the top of any industry. If you're going to make a run to be one of the best in class, you need to be dedicated to putting in your 10,000 hours. You've got to dedicate yourself to 10 years of this grind before anybody knows who you are. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. I've been speaking in front of large audiences since I was 5 years old. A lot of people think, oh man, Uzziah, he's just such a natural speaker. God just gave him that gift, and whoever he steps in front of, he's just going to know how to talk. No, I had to learn this. When I was 5 years old, my mom started putting me in these different talent shows and different contests where I had to get over my butterflies and I had to hold a microphone in my hand and I had to talk to an audience. This is how it starts for every one of us. Look at Michael Jackson. Everybody talks about Michael Jackson during Thriller. Michael Jackson has been dancing since he was 5 years old. Y'all, okay. Do y'all know how hard his father was on him as a kid? His father probably gave him more accountability when he was 6 years old than most of us have ever had in our entire life. So it's not enough to be talented. You got to take whatever your natural strengths are and you got to turn it into something that can shine for you. If you don't put in the hours, there's no way you're going to be world class. No matter how gifted Michael Jordan was as a basketball player, he had to outwork everybody else that was doing it. LeBron, Kobe, all these guys were outworking the competition. Okay. You need to be dedicated to putting in 10 consistent years on your grind quietly before you should expect for anybody to start to check for what you're doing. And I'm not saying this for vanity purposes. I'm saying this because if you're going to be successful and put food on the table, somebody has to acknowledge you, whether that's at your job, whether that's in your company, no matter what it is that you're going to do with your life, is going to require a certain recognition. So when you try to get a six-figure job, that means that you got to stand out from everybody else that's applying for that position. Everybody has to agree that you are the best man for the job. And if you don't have what it takes to win on that level, stop fooling yourself into thinking that this is really the life for you. There's only but so many people that are going to be bold enough to truly live out their dreams. So if you are going to be one of the crazy ones, I'm giving you the process. I'm here to show you that for the first 10 years of whatever it is you're building, don't expect anybody to run to your rescue. You're only going to save you. It's so easy once you see a person in the peak of their career to say, oh man, look at how many supporters they have. Look at how many people are on their pages. But were you watching this person when they were at the bottom? You know, a big name that's on YouTube blowing up right now is Kevin Samuels. Do y'all know how many years Kevin Samuels was on YouTube putting out content and wasn't nobody checking for him? Do y'all know how long it takes in order to be world class at anything? That's what I'm trying to show y'all, because just because you don't get to the top right now, it doesn't mean that success is not for you. You just have to learn how to endure in your arena long enough to become the fan favorite. I'm giving y'all gems, y'all. So make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that you share this message with a friend. Tonight, we're talking about unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. Now, LA for Life says, I can relate. We were taught how to get over our timidity. You know, a lot of people are too afraid to put themselves out there. A lot of people are too afraid of rejection, too afraid of failure and setbacks. But the people who win the most fail the hardest. Look at Donald Trump. Regardless of how you feel about him politically, the man is a billionaire and he's had to go through multiple bankruptcies and failed marriages throughout the process of his career. Now, if he would have just looked at his life and said, oh, well, I'm bankrupt, I guess I ain't nobody, how would he ever be a billionaire today? You got to know that as you go on this grind of getting yourself to a winning position, you're going to take a lot of L's along the way. I tell y'all my L's. I told y'all, you know what? Everybody likes the Uzziah who in 2013 paid off over $95,000 in student loan debt, but nobody likes the Uzziah in 2019 who lost his business. Why do y'all think I went a few years underground? Nobody is checking for you whenever you're behind the scenes just working, though. But those are the critical years that determines your success. People are not from different planets. We all have the same start. Whenever you look at people, whether it's Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, Ted Turner, they all started at the bottom and they had to work for years, if not decades, before they hit the big stage. Okay. So are you dedicated to putting in the hours? Are you willing to go through the blood, sweat, and tears process of getting yourself to the next level? And one of the real questions that I have for y'all in tonight's broadcast is, can you be a consistent winner? Because, see, it's easy for anybody to be a one-hit wonder. Y'all see a lot of times in the media industry, it's easy for anybody to just make one song and outshine on one hit record. But do you have what it takes to consistently win over and over and over again? You know, one person that really sticks out to me on this, Pitbull. I don't know how this dude has been relevant for so many years. I feel like Pitbull has been relevant for almost as long as I've been alive. Every time you turn on the radio, you're going to hear something Pitbull. And that's not by accident. That's due to his grind. He put himself in a position to stay relevant in his industry over and over. So, do you have what it takes to be a consistent winner? Or are you going to be the next one hit wonder in your field? Anybody can make a good amount of money in any one year. Do you have the consistency to make money over the course of 5 years, 10 years? 15 years of success. See, this is the reason why most men don't hit their full stride until their 40s and 50s, because it takes time to develop consistency. It takes time to get down the formula of winning. And shout out to one of my mentors, Tim Grover. He recently published a book where he talked about what it truly takes to win. If you got the same work ethic as everybody else, you don't have what it takes to win. If you're going to be a winner, you got to set yourself apart from everybody else. If you think that you could still gossip and joke and watch TV all the time, that's not what winners do. Remember what I told y'all earlier. Winners win and losers lose. This is the reason why society says the rich get richer and the poor gets poor. What is it about the rich that shows them how to get even richer? What is it about the poor that keeps us stuck at the bottom? It's not because they're from a different planet. It's because they're applying a set of principles that is either getting them to success or failure, regardless of whatever industry you are in. If you take the principles that I'm sharing with you on tonight's broadcast, it will work. You need to focus on the process, not the outcome. A lot of people get so caught up in, oh, well, let me check my bank account right now to see if I'm winning. But you have to see yourself as a winner long before the money ever gets there. A lot of y'all are discouraged because the money ain't showed up yet. But the money may not show up until 2 to 3 years later. Just because you're not at the top of the industry right now doesn't mean that you won't be at the top of the industry in the next 5 years. But as you go through that process, can you run on your own energy? I need to see some comments, man. I need to see y'all's comments and y'all's thoughts on this subject. Unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. And I know that that might be hard to say. Why would you say that, Uzziah? I thought that everybody gets a trophy. No, that's the reason why a lot of people ain't winning right now. The reason why a lot of people are not winning is because they've bought into a society that says everybody gets a trophy. Everybody can be on. But that's one of the biggest lies that we've been told. Every arena has a top 1% of people where when they walk in the room, the level of respect changes. Every arena has a particular core of people that when you start dropping these people's names, people will put more respect behind your efforts. You tell a person, I'm doing a movie. They'll treat you different whenever you say, I'm doing a movie with Steven Spielberg. You say, I'm investing. People will treat you different when you say, I'm investing with Warren Buffett. Until you get yourself on a level of success and dominance, people do not care about your efforts. And it's not about you caring that other people care about your efforts. It's about you coming to the realization that you're going to need some kind of following in order for you to build a successful company. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you are not going to buy from yourself. You're going to need customers. And everybody wants to shop where everybody else is shopping. Everybody shops at Walmart. They don't have to worry. Everybody wants a Mercedes Benz. They're not going out of business no time soon. You've got a million other people that want to be in these industries, but there's a paywall because the top 1 to 2 is walking away with everything. Instead of you crying about how life is unfair, you need to take all of your time and effort to find the industry where you can be at the top of your game. So, y'all know I always give y'all scriptures because I'm a firm believer that you got to put the Most High in everything that you do. I'm going to show y'all how what I'm telling you tonight is biblical. Okay. I'm going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 13. And while we getting that, please make sure that you smash the like button. Please make sure that y'all donate with the super chat. All right. It's been a good 30 minutes since the last donation. Please show some support, y'all. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box, and the donation will be much appreciated. I'll shout you out and show you some love. This is in a book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13 and verse 23. It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. See, the reason why you don't have the support that you have is because you're still up and coming to get to the next level. Don't be discouraged. You might not start out rich, you may start out poor. So you're going to have to go through people trying to overthrow you along the way. This verse actually gives us the process of what it's like to have a winner's journey. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. Meaning, when you find yourself best in class, that's when the people start to care. They extol it to the clouds. Everybody wants to share the video that got millions of views. Nobody wants to share your video, though, if you only got 1 or 2 views. So, do you have what it takes to keep your energy, even when you're not getting likes, when you're not getting shares, when you're not getting sales? You have to be so obsessed with your vision that you don't even pay attention to the type of responses that you're getting. A lot of you guys that start off businesses, one of y'all's biggest problems is y'all get too caught up in how people respond to you on social media. You spend all day looking at people's comments. And if somebody gives you one bad comment, now you want to stop your business. Listen, there could be 9 people that say, hey, you're doing great. Keep it up. But the one person that tells you you suck, you take it so much to heart that stops you from walking in your greatness. Why do you allow yourself to be so caught up in what somebody else thinks that heavy? You got to keep working on you and your vision, because nobody else can see it until you made it on the other side. I'm trying to tell y'all, there's a point A to a point B. Right here, point A, nobody knows who you are. You're just getting started. You're trying to figure out how the game is played. But in time, through perseverance, you will find yourself on the other side. And when you find yourself on the other side, that's when everybody will tell you how great you are. That's when everybody's trying to pay you money. That's when everybody is trying to check for you, because you've already been established as a man or woman of value. But that doesn't happen overnight. You have to build yourself up to that point over time. And let me tell y'all something. Just because you're on right now doesn't mean that you're always going to be on for a lifetime. I always tell you about your window and how you have to make that most of that window when you have it. I'm going to give y'all an example. I'm just giving y'all the real. All I could do is tell you from what I know. Okay. A lot of y'all knew years ago People knew me as just one of the top guys in the spiritual arena. Thousands upon thousands of people coming to me, checking to me, getting mentored by me, all kinds of things. And then I had my moment of tribulation. And it wasn't about me, it was about where I was in the industry. So when you go through your times where maybe you fall on hard times, maybe your business goes bankrupt, just because you go through a hard season, it doesn't mean you can't get back on top. There's been stories about athletes who might have lost it all and came back. Look at what happened with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was a professional boxer, went a stint falling off, not having his head in the game, getting stuck on alcohol, all kinds of things. Comes back to boxing, one of the biggest names. Okay. So this is the reason why you have to stay focused on the process rather than the outcome. See, the process says no matter who's checking for you, still operate with a certain level of performance. Outcome says who it doesn't matter your performance as long as somebody else tells you that you're good. But what if you get yourself up to a certain level of performance, and then once people start telling you how good you are, you stop practicing? Now that people are checking for you, you stop doing the things that made you great. And this is what stops so many people from winning consistently. Why do you think it's so hard for sports teams to win back-to-back championships? Why do you think it's so hard for rappers to outperform their debut album? When they got into the game, they were hungry. But the minute that somebody told them they were successful, the same drive and hunger that got them to that point, they let go of. I've seen so many people in my life become very successful only to get themselves to the top of the industry, and then their head is so big from all the things that people are telling them, they stop doing the things that made them successful in the first place. This is the reason why you have to focus on process, because process will keep you at the top whether you are winning right now or not. Your process will be the difference between you either being at the top 1% now, or even if you're not there, you will be back up there within a matter of years. So show some love, y'all. Make sure that y'all smash this like button. Make sure y'all really internalize what we're going over tonight. I know y'all saw the title and you think, oh, Uzziah, he's just shooting the breeze. He's just talking. But all of these shows deal with real life. It deals with you. Everything that I'm saying right now is in your window. Do you have what it takes to win? Do you have what it takes to put in the hours? Do you have the heart to stay dedicated to your vision and your success, even when no one is around to celebrate you? Shout out to Videos to Views, man. Videos to Views, you are incredible. I send you a ton of love. Videos to Views said, this is the real stuff. I love your show. Hey, love right back at you, fam. And this is the reason why I do shows like this, because a lot of us only want to hear about what life feels like once you've already made it. Y'all only want to hear about somebody's highlight reel, but you never want to hear about the day to day. This is the reason why so many people get caught up in social media, because they're just looking for a snapshot of a person's success at any one point in time. Instead of y'all focusing on the highlight reel, focus on the backstory of what got them there, because that's what you need to do in order to get your highlight reel going. Every master once started off as an amateur. Every expert was once a beginner. What is the process to get from point A to point B? I'm going to give y'all the link once again to Cam Up. Tonight, we're talking about unless you're winning, nobody is checking for you. Do y'all agree? Or do y'all think that life is checking for everybody? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'm giving y'all the link on the screen to get on camera and give me your perspective. My perspective is that unless you are at the top of the industry, nobody knows who you are. This is the reason why companies like Hertz always have customers. They're at the top of their industry. This is the reason why right behind them will be Avis. How many car insurance companies can you think of right now? There's only but a few. But how many insurance companies are out here competing for y'all's dollars? That's what I'm trying to show y'all, how competitive this life stuff really is. There are literally millions of drivers in the United States alone. But you could only think about a handful of companies. That's because the majority of the companies that's out here trying to do something, nobody knows. And as a result, all of the money goes to a few companies. Geico, State Farm, Nationwide. There's only but a few companies, y'all. So whatever industry you can be in the top one or two, pick that one and get rid of all the other hobbies. A lot of us like to spend so much time dabbling in this and dabbling in that. Unless you can be at the top, you need to go all in on whatever industry you can be a high level winner. All right. Success takes time, y'all. McDonald's only had one restaurant for the first 20 years. And now their franchise is all around the world. But I want to remind y'all, success is a poor teacher. A lot of my biggest mistakes happened after I got my most success. A lot of my biggest mistakes was on the other side of my success. When I was paying off those student loans, that's when I was really making the right moves because I was stung by my failures. I just got out of college. I'm $95,000 in debt. A newborn baby that's never worked a day in their life is $95,000 wealthier than I am. So it was the pain of taking those L's that helped me rack up the wins. But once I got out of the student loans, I ended up doing the same stupid stuff that got me back into debt all over again. I told y'all this before. I told y'all about how after I paid off my $95,000 in debt, it was only within a few years after that that I went $85,000 back into debt. And I had to go through the pains of that to pay off $85,000 in credit cards and other business debt within 2 years' time. But I could only get back to winning because I focused on the process. When I didn't focus on the process, that's when I was taking the L's. And regardless of whether you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 in the industry right now, as long as you focus on mastering your process, then and only then can you get to be number one. All right, y'all. So, as always, I'm going to give y'all these 2 free stocks. Y'all know that the Uzziah Show is sponsored by Webull. Webull is one of the fastest growing financial brokerage companies in the world. On Webull, you can get not only stocks, but also cryptocurrency. I'm sure y'all been hearing a lot about crypto lately. A lot of things have been blowing up. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this show also. Did this message resonate with you? How do y'all feel? How do you feel personally when it comes to the subject of winning? Do you want to be a winner in life, or do you not care? Is it important for you to have something to show for your life, or are you just taking life as it comes? Are you built to be a true winner? And can you see yourself winning time and time again? Or are you just going to be a one hit wonder because you're not focused on the process to get to great? I'm putting the link up right now for y'all to get y'all's 2 free stocks. All you got to do is click the link in the comments, and then you'll be good to go. All right. So make sure that y'all take some time to really think about this. I try to give y'all every success principle that's needed in order to be great, in order to get to the next level. If you want to create generational wealth and be your own boss, you need to get down tonight's talk. If you want to build a legacy, you need to make sure that you position yourself for greatness. If you don't properly position yourself, it's going to be so hard in order to get the results that you want. But when you can put yourself in the right position, then that's when you can leverage your position to get everything that you could ever imagine. When y'all look at some of the top performers, they're able to get the money, they're able to get the network, they're able to get the connections, all because they've put themselves in a position of value. So, whatever it is that you want out of life, it doesn't have to be material things. It doesn't need to be a car. Maybe you want to end world hunger. You've got to put yourself in a position to win in life in order to leverage your attention to make that a thing. Some of y'all, you could have great nonprofits going on. You could solve real life problems, mental health, abuse. But if nobody knows who you are, nobody's going to care enough about what you have to offer. We live in a capitalist society. We're in America, bro. So if you're going to be successful, you got to know how to put yourself in a position where other people can see your value. And then when they recognize your value, that's when they're going to be inclined to support your efforts. But if you don't have nothing in life that really matters like that, then, just get it how you live. Very important talk. And I pray y'all get this down. I'm going to be back on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure that y'all are tapping in with me, okay? And for those of y'all that want to know how to tap in further and get access to some of my programs to help you start your businesses and get out of debt, all you got to do is tap the link in the comments below. Hey, listen, also, y'all, for those of y'all that are on, maybe leave me a comment below on this. If not, go on a poll. I recently put out a poll where I asked, which title do you like more for my YouTube channel? Black Men's Career or Uzziah the Success Strategist? That'll be really important for y'all to give me some feedback on that. Shout out to my sister Ariel. Thank you for all the support, my sister. Really appreciate that $10 super chat. For those of y'all that love this channel and you want to support real content, then please make sure that y'all donate via super chat by clicking the dollar icon that's directly below the live chat box. You can also donate through Cash App or PayPal. The links are in the description below. I love y'all. I wish y'all much success. Oh, man, my sister LA for Life showing out, man. My sister LA for Life is showing out. Just when I thought I wasn't getting no super chats, my sisters came to save the day to show support. Thank you so much, my sister. I really appreciate your support. Did you get my email where I sent you one of my paid products for free? You said, thank you, Brother Uzziah. As always, great talk. I do want to be a winner in life. I just need a direction. You battled fear of failure for years, but you're over it now. You think, hey, sister, just continue to tap in. And I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to continue to push you along the way. And again, make sure that you check out that program that I sent you on the Maximum Productivity Masterclass, because that's going to show you how to maximize your time so that way you can get things done fast. Okay. The Maximum Productivity Masterclass that I sent to this sister shows you how to get more done in a day than most people get done in a week. No cap. And for any of y'all that have seen the types of things that I'll usually do in my day, you should know it's not lying between juggling things in business, church, personal life, etc. I ain't nobody special, y'all. All I do is apply the winning formula. And if I can do it, so can you. Thank you so much, LA for Life. Thank you so much to Sister Ariel. Thank you so much to my brother Yasha Allah. Thank you all so much for the support. As always, continue to focus on the process. Focus on the process and the results will come. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Don't forget to support this channel, y'all. The super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal info is all here. I'll see you, Lord willing, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Until then, keep pushing.